back to I Was Thinking with Nafees and Simone. I'm Nafees.
And I am Simone. What's up, y'all?
What's up? What's up?
Is that... Oh, I was like, is that it? Oh God. How are you guys?
What happened?
I don't know. We're gonna keep going. If I keep this in, I keep this in. If it's out, it's out. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's also
How are you. First of all, how are you doing?
Me?
Huh? Oh my gosh, we're so not on the same page right now.
All right, I just need to let you guys know, me and Nafees are having a little technical difficulties. So one, bear with us. Yes. Two, this is not a normal episode. As you can tell by the title, it's called Catch Up Episode. So we just wanted to give a break of the stuff we've been doing. We're still trying to figure out this podcast. So we're going to have a meeting a little bit later. Well, we just wanted to, catch up, see how we're both doing, let you guys know of any future changes or things like that. I think we're going to go more towards reviewing TV shows, movies, and did we decide if we were doing music? Or yes, no, maybe. I mean, me and Macy are still playing our K-pop game, but...
every now and then we could, but I think it's more going to be towards reviewing content.
Okay, that's what I thought. But yeah, but we still just wanted to take this little break. One, because of that, of planning, and two, I'm gonna just let y'all know right now, I try my best to make this show really light, happy, and positive as much as I can. But a lot of stuff's been going on in the world that me and Nafees felt like we should talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just not good when it comes to being serious. So I'm a little nervous. I also want to make sure I don't say the wrong thing. What about you, Nafees?
Don't be nervous. It'll be okay.
Okay.
I'm not too nervous. I just feel like it is something we need to talk about since we are the two minorities that are targeted for this very thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing right there. That is it right there.
So I think we're okay. I think we have the right to talk about this, if anything.
Okay. Because we started this podcast late, so we weren't around when Black Lives Matter was happening, or else I definitely would have talked about that.
Yeah.
I did a little bit when I think it was how to get into the K-pop episode, because we started talking about cultural appropriation a little bit, and I did my own PSA to try to get my point across of what I was saying.
Yeah.
I still don't know if I said the right thing or not. I haven't listened to it since I edited it, so you told me it was okay, but...
Yeah, it was fine. I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Okay.
Hey guys, so real quick, I misspoke. I said when Black Lives Matter was happening. It's still happening, always has been going on, and it's never going to stop until we get to the root of the problem that we will explain later. So like I said, like I'm saying now, just because it's not trending anymore does not mean it's still not going on, and it does not matter.
I mean, people are going to have their opinions whether they agree with me or not, but it was just something I needed to get off my chest because it does affect me as a Black person.
That's true. But the thing is, though, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It does affect you because you are from that population. And then with the whole Asian hate crime thing, that affects me because I am Asian. So I feel like we can talk about this.
Exactly. And we'll get more into that a little bit later. So
yeah.
All right. Well, are we ready to just go ahead and jump into it? No, how's your day going? No's, how's work? And there's just something else I'm going to rant about later.
Huh?
No, I said there's something else I'm going to rant about later. I mean, it doesn't have to do with the Asian hate crime, but it's just about maybe things as a woman in general. I'll do it after this, but I'll let you know because it's something that happened to me at work where I'm still pissed off about.
Anyway, so just a disclaimer, we're not trying to offend anybody. These are just our thoughts and our feelings being from the communities that are affected. If you guys have anything you want to share with us, please definitely, leave a comment or send an email.
There was something I was going to say and I just forgot. Again, this is why I don't like talking about serious stuff because my brain goes like a million miles a minute where I'm thinking of all these things I want to say, but my mouth can't process what I'm thinking because I'm just so enraged. So I can't keep up. So that's why I might stumble a lot, just to forewarn you guys. I might get quiet sometimes just because I'm trying to make sure I don't say the wrong thing or I get my thoughts across. And hopefully this is the last time we do a serious topic like this. But if something comes up, we'll talk about it. Because when we started the show,
Simone,
what?
This is not going to be the last time we'll talk about this. Let's be real.
I was hoping so. God damn this place.
As much as it upsets you and as much as it upsets me, this is an ongoing thing in our world. So it's not going to be the last time we talk about it.
I know. I was just trying to be hopeful, you know?
And I crushed it right then and there.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. You brought me back to reality. You just brought me back to reality.
At you.
I know you're not.
Okay.
Trust me, I know that. All right. What do we want to talk about first? Because there's a couple things we wanted to talk about.
I just feel like humor is the only way I can deal with like serious things. So if I start laughing, it's not because I find it funny. It's just how I deal with like super heavy topics.
All right. So what date was this? This was, when did the Grammys happen? The 14th?
Wasn't it this past weekend? I don't know. Has it been a while?
Well, I have to say dates because I'm pretty sure I don't know when this episode's going to come out.
Yeah, the 14th.
Yes. So let's start on March 14th when the good old Grammys happened.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go first, Nafees, or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. Well, Nafees doesn't go on our social media like our Twitter. I usually do. So if you guys see any tweets from the account, it's more than likely me. Even though I signed my name on these tweets, it's always going to probably be me. So let me find the actual tweet so I don't misinterpret what I said because I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't have a Twitter, so.
Well, we have the one for this podcast, but so if you want to use it, you can always go on it, Nafees.
That is true. I just don't like bothering with Twitter. I don't know. I don't like it.
Oh, I mean, it's very toxic. Trust me. There's some good memes I can laugh at. And there's sometimes where I'm like, God, why? Why do I torture myself with this?
Yeah.
Anyway, so the actual Grammys, let's be honest, I wasn't going to watch it anyway. I have not watched award shows in how long? I never really cared for award shows. But I had to work that night anyway. Mm-hmm. So before I went to work, I tweeted, I have to work tonight, but good luck to BTS and all my other faves, because there are other people that I was hoping to get awards at the Grammys tonight. And then in parentheses, I put, not like I was going to watch anyways, but I won't be able to keep up to date through Twitter. And then I said, I'm rooting for BTS and everybody black. And then I said, and good luck to just any minorities nominated for the Grammys in general. It's still left the Grammys, but I'm realistic and understand the power of the name and award still holds for musicians today. So shrugging emoji, signed my name.
Okay.
So that was before I went to work. And I was pretty much off my phone the whole time.
Uh-huh.
And then when I got on it later, because I would like to point out, if you weren't keeping up to date, a lot of the, I want to say popular, nominations, for some reason this year, they were all at the pre-show, not the main show that was shown on TV. Didn't write down which ones were at the pre-show. Someone could let me know. But it's just very funny how a lot of the categories that were in the pre-show were for music categories, mostly by minorities. So best gospel, hip hop, rap. The one BTS was nominated for best duo/group. Things like that. Things that a lot of minorities, when it comes to making music, are very known for as far as making type of music, you know? So that's already one thing. How they're in the pre-show that was online only and they weren't going to be shown at the main show at all.
So what do they cover in the main show?
I don't, like I said, I didn't watch this, but probably best, composer, country, things like that. Oh. I didn't watch this, so I don't know.
Okay, I was just asking how the Grammys is organized, because you're saying they have pre-show and then they have awards in that pre-show, correct?
Yes, but a lot of award shows do that. So depending how many awards they'll always have categories. It's usually categories most people don't really tune in to watch though, and they'll announce them in like the pre-show that they have to set up for the main show. And the main show is usually left for categories that are like important, like best artist, best album, things like that. That's why I was confused why a lot of the popular categories that most people listen to were in the pre-show.
Has it always been that way?
What, like pre-show award show or?
Yeah, have they always had like the minorities in the pre-show?
It depends on the categories.
Okay.
Before I get into the hard things, let me just go ahead and talk about happy things that happened. So first, let me congratulate Beyonce for not only winning 4 Grammys that night, but now she holds the record for the most Grammy Awards at 28. So, I mean, it's Beyonce.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. But just for being a woman and like a Black woman to be able to hold that record, I'm like, thank you. Thank God.
That's amazing.
So there's that. The only person I was really rooting, I mean, there's a couple people, but of course, Megan Thee Stallion won for Best New Artist, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Song for the Savage remix she did with Beyonce. Mm-hmm. So congratulations to Megan Thee Stallion. Blue Ivy Carter, which if you don't know who she is, I don't know why, Beyonce's daughter, also won a Grammy for Best Music Video for Brown Skin Girls.
How old is she now?
How old? Is she 9?
Oh my gosh, she's already 9?
I think so. I think she's... Or is she younger? No, I could have sworn Blue Ivy Carter was like 9. I don't know, actually. If she's younger, let me know. But I could have sworn she was 9 or 10.
But I mean, at least she's old enough to be in music videos now, so...
Yeah, I mean, she was on the, like, recording of that song, so... Because, like, if you ever heard that song, Beautiful Song, she starts it off with her singing. It's so cute.
Aww.
Yeah. And then I just wanted to shout out all the other Black and people of color that won Grammys. So I wrote down the musician Her, and I didn't write down what she won a Grammy for, but congratulations to her for winning one. A DJ named Kai. Oh, God. I'm sorry if I butcher any of these names. I'm very terrible. The English language is terrible. Kai Chanda, who's a DJ and won for Best Dance Recording and Dance/Electric Album, which, shockingly, he's the first Black person to win in a dance category, which kind of makes me upset because I even watched like a documentary on this that I had to do for a class when I was still in school. And if you know, like, that type of music is a genre created by Black people, and for him to be the first Black person to win that category kind of makes me mad. Like, I don't get excited when I hear like first Black person or first Asian person or first woman, things like that when they like do certain stuff. I'm like, we're already in 2021. Why are we still having first for this stuff?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Like, we're beyond that point for it to be just now recognized. Yeah.
We should be, but we're not. Yeah. Anyway, let me continue my list. Lidisi for Best Traditional R&B Performance. I'm so sad Chloe and Halle didn't win anything. Or Doja Cat. Fine. They'll have their time.
Their time will come.
Yeah, they're still, especially Chloe and Halle, they're still very young. So, but they did a lot for Ungodly Hour, and like they were on the top of like all those like home concerts. So anyway, John Legend for Best R&B Album, Anderson .Paak for Best Melodic Rap Performance. Some of these categories, I'm like, did you guys just come up with names? Again, I know nothing about music, but sometimes I read this and I'm like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, Nas for Best Rap Album, Burna Boy for Best Global Music Album, Tiffany Haddish for Best Comedy Album, Kanye West, I think he won for his new gospel music. I don't know, I didn't write it down, but congrats to him. PJ Morton for Best Gospel Album, Bad Bunny for Best Latin Pop or Urban Album, Fito Pazzi for Best Latin Rock or Alternative Album, Natalia, La Forcade for Best Regional Mexican Music, and Grupo Nietzsche for Best Tropical Latin Album. And if I missed any other people of color, Black people that won an award in some category, let me know. These are the only ones that like I had time to actually research and I knew they were not white. So yeah, congratulations to people that won, because no matter my feelings, you always still need to show appreciation for people. Congratulate them, because everybody works hard.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I already told you it's hard for me to think right now when we talk about serious topics. So I just wanted to get out that out the way of congratulating the people that actually did win something, because they deserve their recognition too.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the thing I don't want to talk about.
The very point of this whole episode.
Yeah.
Well, one of the points.
One of them. So my opinion about the Grammys and award show, I think I already said this a little bit earlier in this episode. I'm already forgetting what I'm saying, but it has not changed. I don't know if Nafees heard this, but when we did our album review for B, I think I did a little PSA when we first found out they got nominated, and I talked about how congratulating them on the nomination, because that's just already big in general for them not being from America.
Yeah.
Not really making, Dynamite's an English song, but just not really having like English albums, stuff like that. It's something they wanted. So I can't fault them for that. But I don't care, especially because I don't think art is something that you can really categorize like the way it's categorized in award shows. And I just mean like any art. So like music, dance, theater, TV, movies. I've never really cared about awards for stuff like that, because I feel like all that stuff and more is just so diverse. You can't really categorize them, because so many people like so many things. That's what makes art so special, because it's not made for just one specific people. There's just so much out there that so many people like or dislike. It's really hard to be like, well, this is the best over this. Well, I'm like, well, how do you know? Because people opinions are different. Yeah. So that's just one thing. But as I say all this, I understand I'm not dumb. I understand how the real world works. I understand that these awards, especially for like music and TV, is where more people will recognize your art. More people will like check you out to where they may become fans or not, but you'll get more money out of it. You'll get more opportunities out of companies, whether that's like sponsorships and stuff like that. Money, support, opportunities.
Yeah, it holds more meaning. It holds meaning for the people in that industry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand. But my annoyance when it came to the Grammys, and it's not their fault, because we're going through a pandemic. So, of course, they had to stay home. They couldn't fly over here, especially the way America's handling the pandemic. That's another topic for another day. We're not going to talk about that right now. But BTS couldn't come over here, so they had to be home. It was just very annoying the way that this show, I'm not even talking about fans, I'm talking about the show in general, was hyping them up so much. Because I'm going to be honest, I had no idea who else was nominated for the category that they were nominated in. I forgot, because anytime someone said pop duo, group, all I heard was BTS. Not even just from fans, because I follow a lot of fans online. It was from the Grammys themselves, people that like work for the Grammys, things like that. They were the most promoted. And I just feel like, I hate using the word clout, but it really was for clout, just to get people to watch it. No matter if you're a fan or not, you can't deny that it was just for clout. And see, I'm already losing my train of thought. It's just annoying. That's just my point. That's basically just my point. I don't think awards should measure your success.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And whoever, I don't know if this was Korean media. I don't know if this was American media, because they also have this weird thing of like when people get too big, they want to humble them down to make them seem like they're not as big as what they are. And I'm like, why do we have this weird obsession of like bringing people down when they're so high? Like at first you raise them up, and then when they get to the level you try to raise them up, you try to like bring them back down.
You're too high. You can come back down now.
Exactly. But like, again, I don't know which media outlet did this. I don't know if it was Korean media outlet or an American outlet, but whoever said BTS failed for not getting a Grammy, I just wish you the worst in life. Aww. Because how dare you tell? No, because who are you to call someone a failure or say they failed because they didn't win a medal that's going to sit on their shelf and collect dust for how long? And I don't even care if it was BTS. I mean, first of all, it's are we talking about the same BTS? The ones who keep breaking so many records? I'm trying not to let my yes, I am a fan, but I'm not trying to be biased, because even if you don't like them, you cannot deny their success.
That's something you cannot deny.
Are we really talking about the same BTS? And even if we weren't, if this was some different BTS, that we were talking about, like maybe there's a dance group named BTS, maybe there's like a laundromat named BTS. I don't know. But if this was anybody else, who are you to call anybody a failure, whether because they won any type of stupid award or not?
Yeah, no, I feel you on that one.
Like, this makes me so mad. Like, that makes me think of like the school system and like with kids, like if they don't get certain level of like, if they don't make A's or B's, they're failures at life.
Oh my gosh, I just thought of something.
What?
Are we gonna get a Cypher Part 5 because of this? That would be cool.
I don't know.
Your face is so deadpan.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just annoyed. That's
like addressing this very issue.
Yeah. I'm just annoyed.
I really liked, like, so they did a V Live after the Grammys were over, and two things that I really liked that they said. So Suga said he basically said that BTS can't win something in just one go. They always have to, like try again. And I'm like, you know what? That's so true. Like, you have to try and try again. Because people just won't let them.
But real quick on that, because when it was announced that they didn't win and they were posting like pictures to try to make the fans feel better, it kind of upsets me that they had to say that they'll work harder, because it's one of those things that reminds me of like how people of color have to feel like they have to go through so many miles just to compete with their white counterparts on the same things and work so much when like some white people can do the bare minimum and be 10 times more successful. So that kind of hurt me when I saw that. And that's just for anybody who's a person of color.
Still
like, why do we feel like we have to work so hard to like the brink of death just to compete with our white counterparts that can do the bare minimum and just be 10 times more successful or like have more opportunities or stuff like that. Anyway, what were you saying? I'm sorry. I had to point that out because that also made me sad.
And then the other thing was that J-Hope said that we have to take one step back in order to take two steps forward. And I was like, wow, that's very mature of you to think of it like that. So
yeah, and I'm sure they were sad. I mean, I can't blame them for that. So
no, they were, because like as soon as they found out, like you could tell, like Jin had his head down for like a good second.
And he was also upset because he said, like, I thought we were gonna be on TV more. And I was like, oh, you made these boys stay up all night because of the time difference, and they just look so tired in that V Live. And I was like, oh my god.
I know.
This is so annoying.
Jimin was funny. He was like, I'm sure there are other armies out there who are tired just like we are. So let's end it. And they kept going.
Probably.
Honestly, I would just want to go to bed. So
I didn't watch the whole thing. I've only seen clips, so.
Oh, I watched the whole thing, and they were pretty professional. They were good. They were mostly just trying to cheer up the army. You know, like you said, saying that they'll work harder, things like that. So yeah, they handled it pretty well, I think, and very maturely too.
They did, and the whole thing just annoyed me though. And I would have been saying this for anybody else. Like I said, yes, obviously, if it's not obvious, I am a fan. Nafees is a fan too, but it's just stuff like this that you see, and it could happen to anybody where it just reminds you like, damn, we have no power here.
But you know what? I actually was not surprised. Like, yeah, they were nominated, but for some reason, I knew that's as far as it was going to go, at least for this year. I
wasn't going to be surprised if they won, and I'm actually not surprised that they lost either. Do you know who did win, though? Because Macy did it when I texted her.
It was, who was it? It was Ariana Grande.
It was Lady Gaga.
And Lady Gaga,
and Ariana Grande for Rain on Me.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I like that song. I'm not going to pretend I don't like that song. It's just the fact that, like I said, when you talked about that category, I forgot who else was nominated besides BTS.
Yeah.
Especially just the way the media hyped them up so much. And then like all these articles talking about how they failed afterwards.
Yeah.
The same people that were hyping them up and bringing them down at the same time. I'm like, why?
The media is a very powerful force, man. Don't mess with them.
The media is a powerful force, and they're also just like so... I can't explain the weird power the media has in the world.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, in a sense, though, I'm not glad that this happened, but at least, well, something really, really important has happened. And that is that they kicked down a door that was closed for a very, very long time. So like moving forward, I'm hoping that like next year or the year after, whatever, they are able to win that Grammy like they want.
Yeah. And then I forgot. I brought up the issue I had with an article that was written on the Weavers channel because it talked about their nomination, but like if they don't win, why? And I was annoyed that they talked about a lot of Black artists, which thank you for bringing up the discrimination Black artists got, but it's not the same as Asian artists. Cause I'm sitting here thinking, what other Asian, not even just Asian artists from like other countries, but like just Asian Americans that are here that you know of that was nominated. Did you know of any? Because I didn't see any. So I wish they talked about that and how they don't have any real big representation in like media, especially music here. So hopefully it opens the door for that.
But that's true. There really isn't that big of a representation. Actually, which brings me to a point. You know Zayn Malik, right? One Directioner.
Yes. He's the only one that I liked, so.
He actually posted a tweet or something saying that like the Grammys is not inclusive and that they should work on that to include more people for categories and whatnot. And I'm like, that's a really good point too. Because it's not just like one sect of Asia that's affected, it's all of it. Like all of Asia.
Yeah, and it's not even that. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of politics that goes behind the Grammys and stuff like that, because I don't know if he brought it up or The Weeknd brought it up, but someone was like, this is why I didn't get nominated, because I didn't send enough gifts to them. So that's another thing too. It's not even just them not nominating people, it's people not kissing up to them.
Did you see that clip of Eminem where he was doing an interview, and I think he was on some sort of committee to vote, and when the reporter asked him about that, Eminem was like, what do you mean? That vote doesn't count for anything. Like, it's just basically, it's just for show.
It is because there's an actual board that like you can put in who you think you could win. I think I remember hearing this, but you're not actually voting. It's just like the actual voters will look at your thing, like if they even pay attention to it. It probably is just for show. Like, oh, thanks for your nomination. Throw it behind me. Like, this is who we're really going to vote for. But thanks. And I don't want to say that because I don't want to take away anyone's win. Because like I said, everyone works hard. But sometimes you have to look at it like, well, was there an internal influence, whether it's through connections or not, that influence this? It's
more likely than not.
Yeah, it's just annoying. It's hard to talk about because you have, it's not just like one thing that causes stuff. It's multiple things that like get jumbled up into one where it's like.
And I just find it so ironic that within the same week, there was a hate crime against Asians. So just the irony of the whole thing was like, wow, other things are coming to light now. So.
Yeah. Okay. Before we move to that, are we done with the Grammys? No, because I just wanted to bring up, because I forgot to mention this with the failure thing, because I was like, we were mostly talking about like American shows, but like just to bring it up, I don't know if you've been keeping up with like the K-pop news recently. I haven't heard this song, but it just made me think like you can't tell people when they're failures because success is different for everyone and it comes at different times. So I know there's this girl group called Brave Girls. Have you heard of this or no?
I've heard of them, but I don't know about them.
Okay, well, I don't know about them either, and I haven't heard the song, but they are recently blowing up in Korea right now because their one song called Rollin', I guess it was used on a TikTok, but it just blew up. And now they're getting invited to like all these award shows. They're killing it on the charts over there in Korea. They're getting on so many variety shows and like the girls just don't know how to handle it, but they're like so grateful. And I'm thinking back of like people who probably called them failures and things like that. I'm like, look at this. And they debuted in 2011. Like these girls probably did not see this coming.
Wow.
Yeah, they're an older group and like they're probably in their like late 20s, early 30s. And I won't even talk about like the stigma of like them being considered old or whatever.
Yeah, that's another issue entirely.
That's another issue we won't talk about right now. But I'm just saying, like, look at them. They probably thought they would have to quit this altogether, do other stuff. And just randomly because of TikTok, they suddenly blew up. So like you can't call people's failures because you don't know where life is going to take them. And maybe music is not for them. And that's why. Where was I going with this? Maybe what they're doing is not for them and they'll realize that later, or maybe it just wasn't their time. But that's why I got so annoyed when I heard that. I'm like, you can't tell anyone You don't know what anyone's future is going to look like. So for you to dictate who is a failure and who is not is what really annoys me. And that's for anybody in this world. Like, just stop trying to tell people what they can and can't do. Can we just do that? Can we leave people alone? I'm so honestly, just stop with this whole mean girl vendetta a lot of people have. Like, we're too old for this.
It's so interesting because we teach our kids, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything.
We haven't taught that in a while, and I'm a little concerned. It's like with the common sense sling. Like, I think it's getting lost as time goes on, and we need to bring it back.
Common sense is becoming very uncommon.
Less common.
Yeah.
So, dislike whoever you want. Please don't let people shame you for liking whatever you want to like, because it's your happiness at the end of the day. So do what makes you happy. Like who you want to like. You know, just do you, okay?
Yeah, let's not be keyboard warriors and bring people down. It's not cool.
Let's not be keyboard warriors, because that's another thing I get annoyed about since I got into K-pop. I mean, this happens on a Western side too, but like all the fan wars I'm seeing, I'm like, why are we comparing people? Can you just not like your group? And that's coming from someone who listens to more than just one group.
I think people misunderstand the concept of loyalty. Just because you're loyal to one group does not mean you have to hate on another group. It's okay to not like another group. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, but you don't have to spend like your whole energy and time like bashing the other group you don't like.
Exactly. Like, if you love one group, continue loving them. Pay no attention to everybody else. Yeah.
And share them, because you might find someone that really appreciates you sharing their music, and they can become a fan too. I don't understand why you have to be like, oh, this person's better than this person and this why, or like comparing talents, like this person can like sing better than this person. And I'm like, if I like the vocal tone, if I like the music, I will enjoy that. If I don't, I'll just pass it off. They're making this music for somebody out there that will enjoy them. It's just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard too, like when you're younger, but that's not even passing it like when you're younger. Because some people that are older than me or like the same age be doing this too. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Because you know what? All I care about at the end of the day, all I care about is getting this pandemic over with so I can use these damn tickets that are sitting in my inbox. Okay, I just want to go.
Tickets?
Yes, I just want to go see them in concert. I just want to be surrounded by millions of people, share the vibe of all of us enjoying the same music, and I just want to shake some ass to some BTS music. Can the Lord just let me shake some ass to some BTS music? If I do not hear Disease live in like the next year or so, I think I'm gonna go crazy.
Aww.
More crazy than I already am, but
I will say though, like whenever they do come back, it's gonna be like a really special concert, like that whole concert season.
So many tears, many tears.
It's gonna be special.
It is, and just for other artists too, because there's a lot of other artists I want to go see as well. So I don't know, but that's my whole takeaway. But basically, just do whatever you like, guys.
I know, but like I was saying, I just found it so ironic that like the two things happened in the same week. Like the Grammy thing first, and then like the hate crime, like just to further the point that this is an actual problem. And like there's this website too that keeps track of like how many hate crimes have happened ever since like the pandemic has become official, and it was like over 3,000 hate crimes in just the US alone. And I was like, wow, this is like a serious issue that we never really saw on the news.
It's always been a serious issue.
Yeah.
It's not like this is different or changed. You know, like you said, we don't see it on the news because they don't feel like it's something that's important, which we can have a whole nother episode discussing that. But okay. But what did you want to say about the Asian hate crime that's been happening? I mean, are we surprised? Because we saw this coming when Trump started calling it the Chinese virus. Let's be honest. So I'm not surprised. And like,
actually, I kind of was surprised. I was a little bit surprised.
Really? I wasn't. Oh, no, not at all.
I was surprised because I'm not sure if you noticed, but like we're a culture that really hypes up Asian culture. So I didn't think like people would actually go out of their way to kill Asian people. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I don't. You're going to have to explain that.
Okay. So basically, like in our culture, whenever we think of like Asian women, we think what, like a lot of, okay, this part doesn't have to be on the podcast, but like anyway,
No, it needs
I'm
to
probably
be
not going
talked
to
about
say it,
because, like
right?
you're
That's
saying,
why. So I'm just going to say it up. Yeah.
Okay, well, no, I was just gonna say, when people think the word Asian in general, we always think of East Asian, China, Japanese, Korean. We never actually think of Asia as the continent. And there's other countries as Asian. Like you said, you're Asian. But if someone looked at you, they wouldn't have. That's not the first thing they're gonna think of.
Yeah, they won't think Asian. They'll think like Indian, but that is Asian.
Yeah, they'll think Indian. Like India is not in Asia. But anyway. So, like, when people think Asian women, they're going to think of, like, Japanese women and, like, the distorted stereotype of them that they see in, like, anime and things like that.
It's actually typically just Japanese or Chinese. It's not even, like, South Korean or Taiwan. Well, no, Taiwan was part of China. But, like, yeah, it's not, like, that area either. So, or Cambodian. I don't know. But anyway, the point that I was trying to make is that, like, we kind of, like, I guess hypersexualize, like, Asian women. Like, I know a lot of white people that I know are, like, just obsessed with Asian women.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, we have this obsession with this culture, but it was like a reverse hate crime in a sense, because it was an addiction problem that he had.
That's what he said. I don't believe that one bit. I'm sorry. I feel like that was a lie to make him seem like not a murderer, which I don't understand how, but apparently, you know, this country finds ways.
But I'm glad he said what he said, though, because it really had everybody thinking what the definition of a hate crime is, right? It's not like, oh, I have this rage, I have this anger within me, I have to kill you. It could be like any reason whatsoever that caused you to hurt another human being from a particular race or culture. So in that sense, I guess it's a good thing. But in the other sense, it's like, why did anyone think that was a good excuse? Like, it may have been an excuse, but I'm sure there are other things too, like other factors.
Nafees, I'm going to be honest with you. No matter how people try to define hate crime, a hate crime is just racism. That's really it. Like, you can try to hide it under like over-sexualized, but like over-sexualizing a group of people still falls under racism. It's all still racism, no matter how you try to word it.
That's true. No, the way I see hate crimes is just racism in action. That's how I see it.
Yeah, it's just taking your racism and putting it into physical, you know.
And I heard that 4 of the women actually were of South Korean descent too. And like, they actually got in contact with the South Korean embassy and everything. So like, this matter actually became bigger than anyone expected it to be. That's why President Biden and Vice President Harris like are going down to Atlanta to talk to the community.
I mean, even if it wasn't, just the fact that he was able to murder 4 people should already make, well, not 4 people, 8 people should make it big news.
It should. Keyword is should.
I don't know. If people don't know what we're talking about the 8 Asian American people that got killed in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't want to, well, at the time of this recording the other day, but and I think I heard he was able to buy the gun the same day before he went and killed them. So that's already a problem right there.
Oh, really? How old do you have to be?
Honestly, I think you can be 18.
18, really?
I think so. Every state has a different law, but like, especially southern states, it's so easy to get a gun.
And he was 21 too.
Yes, and I'm really upset how people were trying to say he was like I would see articles calling him a 20-year-old kid. I'm like, kid, this is a grown-ass man. Like, you're going to try to call Tamar Rice, who was only 12, like acting like he was an adult, yet you're going to call this white man a kid?
Yeah.
I'm so tired. I am so tired.
I honestly don't know what to say about, like, what else to say about this other than, like, it's so shameful.
And fuck the chief of that county to try to justify the shooter's motive because he was having just a bad day. Who goes on a killing spree when you have a bad day? Go read a book. Go watch TV. Meditate. You don't go out and murder people because you're having a bad day.
Go out to a nice restaurant, have some nice food, buy some nice clothes, go to the beach, walk along the beach, call up a friend, I don't know, eat some ice cream. So many things you could do if you were having a bad day.
They only do this when the shooter or person who does these hate crimes are white, and then they try to bring up their whole history like, oh, he was such a good kid, like, look how he was raised.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Didn't we already talk about this? We talked about Avatar where, like, it doesn't matter your environment, but it does it doesn't matter your environment. Your personality is going to come out one way or the other. It's just being raised a certain way. I think Macy talked about this, kind of steers you into way your personality, like your brain functions of whether you're going to act on these or not. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say anymore.
I just think, honestly, at this point, so much has been brought to the surface. So much has been brought into question that it's about time that authorities and, the higher ups stop making excuses for people and actually tackle the problem. Like, clearly this dude has a mental health issue, and then here we are trying to stigmatize mental health and not giving it the proper attention it needs. So it's about time we just address the issue head on, because I'm pretty sure this is not going to be the last hate crime, but at least we can reduce the number of hate crimes that could possibly happen in the future.
That's hard when the higher ups are mostly white and they have an agenda to make sure white people have this image of they can do no wrong, which they've been forcing since colonization.
But here's the thing, though. Everyone has a brain. Everyone has eyes. Everyone has ears, right?
Nafees, that means nothing. I'm telling you this right now. I
don't know.
That means nothing.
I don't know.
No, when we finally, not even just conversation, I feel like we have so many conversations and they just keep going in circles. When we are able to actually address something about, because all of these have a common denominator, which is racism, white supremacy. Yes, I'm going to say it. It is white supremacy, whether you want to deny it or not. When we can actually try to tackle these issues, that's when we're going to see change. And I'm sorry, I don't want to sound like a downer, but sometimes I feel like I'll never see that change while I'm still around. Or at least I'll be very, very old. But all these common themes have those two things: racism, white supremacy. When we can fix that, we could fix a lot more, but just the way things are going, it's really hard. And it's not like you don't see people out there protesting. It's not like you don't see people raising awareness. But when you have a group of people, whether big or small, trying their best to downplay that, to gaslight that, to do everything in their power to erase it, then how is change going to happen when we try to make efforts to make change, yet they always get compromised, if compromised the right word to say.
That's an interesting point that you brought up, how you think you're not going to see it in your lifetime. I honestly don't think we are. Because look, racism, white supremacy, this has existed for centuries. This is not something that came within the last 100 years or so. So obviously it's going to take time. It's going to take generations for this to be completely diluted, right? It's not going to happen, I don't think, within our lifetime, to be completely honest.
No, that's one of the main reasons where I say I don't know if I want kids or not, because I don't want them to go through the same things I go through, because no matter if I get in a relationship or who my partner is, whether it's another Black person, someone out my race, my child is going to come out some shade of color no matter what. Yeah. I am darker skinned. So I do not want them to go through the same problems that I go through. Because it's one thing they're coming out darker skinned. It's another thing if they come out a girl, or even if it's a guy with sexuality, if they come out gay. I'm no, why would I want to put someone through that trouble? I can raise them as much as I can to have their own moral values, but I don't know. This world is just getting worse and worse. Where I don't want to put someone through that trouble.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Not to get sad like that, but I was just telling Macy that I'm it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. And it can get confusing too, because you're taught one set of morals at home, but then when you're out and about, you see something else going on. So it's this conflict, this disconnect between what you're learning at home and what you're experiencing outside. So I get that. It's hard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it just sucks because there's so many times where I just feel so helpless, and then I try my best to spread the word. That's why we're talking about this. But at the same time, and I'm always wary about donating money, because I don't know if a lot of people know this, but when a lot of the Black Lives Matter stuff was happening, I'm going to say this now, if you donated to the actual Black Lives quote unquote organization, your money was not going to those protesters or the people that actually needed it. More than likely went to the people that worked at the company or the government. So that's why a lot of people say, like, if you're going to donate, make sure you find the actual people's like GoFundMe so the money goes to them, not big organizations. So like, I don't know where a lot of these celebrities, even people outside of America, were donating, but I have a feeling their money did not go to the people that actually needed it.
So you're saying all these K-pop artists, all these other people from other nations that donated, their money did not go through to the people that they said it would go through to? I'm not sure. I don't know anything about that, so I'm not going to say anything, but
that's fine.
I really hope that's not the case.
I hope it's not either, but I mean, what have you seen changed since that? So that lets me know nothing. That lets me know what I say is more than likely 90% true.
I do see whenever I go to downtown a whole Black Lives Matter painting mural thing on the street. So maybe they were funding that. Who knows?
Probably not. And what is a mural going to do? I'm sorry, but like, is this actually changing people's lives? Is this helping poor communities actually make sure they have enough food, shelter, money to survive? Is this helping people stop killing each other over skin color?
Yeah.
Is this helping people like me not be afraid to go outside or talk to people? Because I'm always thinking in the back of my mind that they don't like me because of what I look like. Mm-hmm. And I know, I try not to talk about this a lot, but I know sometimes, like, especially at work, when like I'm dealing with a white person, like I could be standing there and then my coworker's next to them, and I could tell when they don't acknowledge when I say hello to them and go straight to my coworker to like have them help them and stuff. And I like try not to be like, oh, maybe it's because I'm Black, but like sometimes you have to be like, well, is it? That's another reason why sometimes like I hate when the way certain people talk to me because they think I'm dumb. Oh, I hate it so much. And again, that could be my own thing because I'm trying to get older and like not have everything like a race thing. But at the same time, I have to be realistic and like be prepared in case it is, because that's just the world we live in. You don't want to assume that. But
in the case of your colleagues, do you like say hi like in general, or do you say their name too?
Oh, I meant like if we're helping customers. I don't know these customers' names.
I thought you meant in general, and I'm like, oh my god, that is a hostile environment to work in.
No, I would not. I would have quit first day one if it was like that while I'm working. I meant customers. Like, especially in retail, like there would be times where it'd just be like me and someone else, and like the person would see me, I would acknowledge them, but they would go to my coworkers like registered to check out and stuff.
Yeah, like
so outside, it's small stuff like that people don't realize has an effect on people. Like, we could tell we're not dumb.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like my first, when I was in high school, I did a medical assisting program, and they have you do like an internship at a physician's office. So I did that, and they were primarily Hispanic. Like that was my biggest learning experience as far as like how important the people at a workplace are and like the kind of climate they create. Because every time I would go there, I would always be so uncomfortable just because of how I was treated. Like they wouldn't say anything directly to me, but they'll say it to each other in Spanish. They'll talk to each other. The doctors were kind of rude. And the thing is, they probably didn't know this, but I understood Spanish. So like whatever they were saying, I understood, but I never like came out and said, hey, I never called them out because like that was 18-year-old Nafees. Like she didn't want to cause a problem or a confrontation. But it always made me so uncomfortable. And like since then, I've always been wary of people, and I've like actually been whenever I look for a job, that's the first thing I look for is what kind of job environment, like climate, that particular job has. Because if it's bad, you won't last. It doesn't matter if it's a great pay, if it's like great benefits. If the people you work with all day are not on your side, it's going to be hell for sure.
Oh, that's very true. I was going to say something and then I forgot.
Hopefully it comes back to you.
Hopefully it does. Like I said, we're bouncing a little bit, but I'm just like throwing my frustrations out. So,
and that also made me wonder, because back then, I took hijab too. So like now that I think about it, I'm like, was it a racist thing? Because if it was, that would make so much more sense. I understand what you're saying, like how like even if the interaction is fine, but it's not as cordial as you expect it to be. It does make you wonder whether it is a race thing or a religion thing.
I think people misunderstand when we talk about racism and like discrimination, like being prejudiced. Everyone thinks it's just like being outward, like hateful to others, when that's not the case. It's subtle stuff like that, or it also plays into racism.
Oh, no. I think the worst one is the subtle one where they're not in your face. Yeah, like the microaggressions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's worse. I mean, like, just go ahead and tell me you're racist so I know not to talk to you if I can avoid you. But it's the subtleness that's worse than the outward, like, I just hate you because of what you look like. I was going to say, I remember when you're like 18 Nafees wouldn't say that. And I'm like, even with my rant right now, like, I don't think you guys realize I am a very quiet person. So like, I do put up with a lot that people tell me. So like, if you're like this, I don't say anything because I also don't want to be that stereotype angry Black woman. Like, oh, there she goes again. I'm just saying so-and-so and she's just mad for no reason. I'm like, no, I have a reason, because you would not treat anyone else like this. And then when I actually do say something, I'm just the angry Black woman.
And the thing is that when you do stand up for yourself, they make you feel stupid for like, no, I don't treat anyone else like this.
They make you feel
dumb. They make you
feel so stupid. And like, yes. And that's another thing that I was going to talk about. Because the person who was doing this was also Black, but he was a man. I'm going to say this for all the men out there. Stop telling women that they need to smile. I'm not your puppet. I don't have to do anything you tell me to do. You don't know what I'm going through. I could be having a bad day. I could be going through something. You don't know my life. You don't know me. Yes, I'm working. If I'm talking to you, I will make sure I'm polite and I will smile. But stop telling people, especially women, that they need to smile. Acting like we're not pretty or approachable or whatever if we're just looking. This is just my face. Yeah. I had a customer like last week. I won't talk about what event it was, so I don't expose where I live. But like every time he walked by me, I didn't know if it was a weird attempt to flirt, which is already a problem because I'm pretty sure that whole group, even him, had wives. But he looked at me. I was not helping him at all. I was just working on the computer, minding my own damn business. He's like, smile. Why aren't you smiling? You look so upset. I'm like, excuse me. Was I talking to you? No. Was I acknowledging you? No, I'm minding my own business. And every time he would walk by me, he would say that, or like say I need to smile for him. Like, I don't need to do shit. I can't tell you this because I'm working.
Yeah, and that would be actually kind of weird if you were working on the computer and smiling away. Like, that's creepy.
And I said that too, but he was just laughing it off. And like I said, I don't know if this is a weird attempt to flirt, but I need men to realize you telling women they need to smile is not okay. What is that? That's not going to make me attracted to you. Like, you could say I have a pretty smile. You could say I look nice when I smile. Don't say like I need to smile or like, I can't even express it. Just stop telling women what to do. And then there's another thing where I said it's the microaggression because I am a Black woman and we have the stereotype of always being mean. If I'm not like going outwardly being nice, like I'm just presumed as being mean. And I'm like, no. Can I not just sit here?
Yeah.
Why are you always bothering me? Leave people alone. God.
Yeah.
This was such a rare episode, wasn't it?
I mean, that was kind of the point.
I guess. Like, at first, we were just going to do a regular catch-up episode to, like, talk about the show, and then all this stuff happened. I'm like, oh, my God.
So much did happen this past week. My goodness.
So much happened. So much stuff is still happening. And like,
and will continue to happen.
It will continue to happen. It's just so, I'm glad more people are starting to talk about it now. But like, I would just like to see some change. I don't know how. I'm still trying to research myself on how to change. Because trust me, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the perfect person. And I never had like prejudiced thoughts when I was a child and stuff like that. I'm trying to unlearn so many things. But it's one thing to unlearn stuff. Yeah. It's another when you take action on that stuff to unlearn it. That actually makes a difference. Like, that's why when especially celebrities already have it hard enough just being in the spotlight. When people bring up their past, I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, what they did back then is wrong. I'm not going to pretend they're the perfect people because they're still humans. And I don't know why we always put them on this like ginormous pedestal. I could really care less what they do outside their art, to be honest. That's just me. Not everyone feels like that, but that's just me. And it's like, at the end of the day, as long as they show they're trying to change, why do we still hold this one thing over their heads? That's with anybody, not just celebrities, but I just pointed out celebrities because they're always in the spotlight, so it happens to them more frequently than regular people.
It's because we are a very unforgiving society, and just because you're a celebrity, you have to be perfect. And if you're not perfect, you're not worthy of being a celebrity, and so on, and so on, and so on. So that's why.
I wish the word perfect never existed.
Right?
I don't know what else I could say. I'm so tired. I'm just tired. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say.
I think we're just beating the same bush like 1,000 times.
We probably are. Yeah. So
hopefully all of us take these situations as an opportunity to learn more about about what a hate crime is, what constitutes as a hate crime, and what we can do to make our society better. So hopefully we learn something from this and move forward.
And just learn how to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think it's sympathetic, but like just ways to do better. Like, don't just sit there and be like, oh, I see you guys and I sympathize with you. I'm like, okay, just make change or just don't say anything. Like, that was another annoying thing I was seeing with a lot of like the Black Lives Matter movement that happened last year. And people are always like, oh, I don't see color. I'm like, no, don't say that. I need you to acknowledge my color, but also remember I'm a human being no matter what it looks like. Like, yes, and also I need you to acknowledge the difference in privilege because it's there. Don't pretend like it's not. Like when you say I don't see color, it is there. Acknowledge it and try to find ways to change it.
For sure.
And also, well, no, I won't say this anyway, but like, I can't believe some of y'all were posting yellow squares like y'all did with the black squares for Stop Asian Hate. I'm like, really? We're really doing this?
First of all, we're not all yellow. Yeah.
This helps nobody. This helps nobody. And you're not. Where did we get this weird thing where we associate the color yellow with Asian? That's another thing with like black. Like, I'm not actually black. I'm brown, but sure, whatever. I'm just talking. Yeah. I feel like I'm just talking now just to be talking.
We can end it here if you want.
This world, this country.
Yeah.
And I'll also link at the bottom, but I know Eric Nam did like an article in Times, I think yesterday, of like just the racism he faced as a child here in America as an Asian American. Yeah. That's another thing too. I didn't mention, we were talking about the Grammys and how Asian Americans don't get any representation in like entertainment. Cause I'm like, why did people like Eric Nam or like BM from Card had to feel like they had to go all the way to another country just to start a singing career? Because there's already a bad stereotype of like them coming over here and like they have to be doctors or like lawyers just to make a living. And we don't even talk about like the ones who run like restaurants and laundromats and stuff like that and are just so overworked and underpaid. There's just a lot of things that are going on for people of color and Black people. So yeah, I it's sad we can't end this on like advice. I just don't know what type of advice to give. Except for to stop being racist.
Just do your research. Try to educate yourself as much as you can. If you have Asian friends or if you have African American Black friends, reach out to them, ask them how they're doing. Get to know their perspective on these situations because who knows, you might actually learn more than trying to figuring out things on your own. So just do the best you can to educate yourself and then take it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all we can really say. And I'm not even, and when we say that, we're not even just pointing to like, if you are white, this is for everybody because we all have our own. Yeah. This is for everybody because I also didn't bring up this weird article that I found and they changed the name. So when I sent it to you, it was this original name. But when I did it, they changed like the title of it because the article was first how Black people can be strong allies to Asian Americans right now. And I'm like, wait, first of all, why is it just Black people? Why isn't it just everybody? And why do we keep having Black people be the front men of all these like all this oppression that's going on when we already struggle ourselves to people to act like they actually care about us without it being performative and just saying that because it's quote unquote trendy when these are real lives. So that annoyed me. And then when I re-clicked on it, they changed it to join, support, and donate. Collateralization of minority Americans come together to dismantle hate.
I like the second one better.
I was like, oh, so you realize the article was fucked up. You realize the title was fucked up and changed it. But I mean, they already got enough hate for it. So people knew the original one. But that's what I'm saying. Like, don't point this at one community to help the other. And it's already hard enough because we're all different and even go through different types of oppression. So you can't compare them and say they're the same thing when they're not. Yes, we can help each other to make sure we lift each other voices up. Because I won't talk about the struggles we already go through amongst each other, like attacking each other.
Yeah.
I just wish people could get along. I think that's it. I just wish we could not just get along, but just, I don't know.
No, I understand that.
Okay, I think I'm finally done. It's hard. Like I said, it's hard for me to talk about this stuff because I need to do my own research on some of this stuff. I don't know everything. I only talk from my perspective, and my perspective already is limited. So I'm just saying my thoughts and opinions. Obviously, the show's called I Was Thinking, but not all my opinions are right or accurate.
It's just what we're thinking.
I don't know.
It's just what we're thinking. That's all it is.
Yeah. Just my feelings.
Yep.
Yeah. But I try to do better to start discussions so we can all share our opinions and try not like agree to disagree, but just see where everyone's coming from. So
yeah,
I can only do my part. All right. Are we ready to go?
Any final thoughts?
My takeaway is don't be racist. What's yours, Nafees?
Don't be racist, but educate yourself too. Wait, no, don't be racist and educate yourself.
There you go. I thought you said it right the first time. No,
I said don't be racist, but educate. But I meant don't be both things. Or like don't do one thing and do the other. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you for listening to this messed up episode of I Was Thinking. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at I Was Thinking Pod. Email us some questions, some comments, give us some ratings. I don't have this up for me, so I'm just saying stuff. You could email us with any questions, comments, concerns at iwasthinkingpod@gmail.com. Love to hear from you guys. I know people are listening to us. We would like to hear from you guys to see how we're doing. So with that, we will bid you adieu. The next episode hopefully won't be as heavy. And we'll get back to our fun, distracting, talking about televisions and how they relate into the real world. So with that, we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.